just a brand for car lovers across the land. For the love of cars, Uganda, we roll. From dusty road to Brimsey Patrol. With your steams, we break it down. Helping every driver in the town. For the love, for the love, for the love of cars, Uganda. Welcome to the road, and we're out the misty soul. For the love of cars, Uganda. On the streets, the story's right. Old and new, they shine me bright. Toyota, Nissan, Benz, so much that we break it down, no propaganda. Every papa's got a tell. Village try to see the scale. Talk the truth, not just a brand for car lovers across the land. For the love of cars, Uganda, we roll. From dusty road to Brimsey Patrol. Review steps, we break it down, helping every driver in the town. For the love, for the love, for the love of cars, Uganda. Pre-purchase chase to lead the way. Park your car, no games to play. Restore the past, drive into tomorrow. We bring the life, no just the horsepower. Is it a no or a GX ride? We show you what's real, no just the hype. Started views and engine modes. We teach you more than just photos. Taking tools from the basics up. Tracking gear and car gets up. Even new or a season bet. For the love of cars, you waiting nothing yet. Let it drive it proud. This is more than just machines. It's the love, the life, the dream. Of cars, Uganda, we roll. From dusty road to Brimsey Patrol. Abana basubaru temumanyi mmoroka balwange emabega oba avuga biki. Good evening, my people. How is your Sunday? How is your Sunday? Guys, Sunday, jimaze mwebiganye diagnosis. Nakede mwebiganye diagnosis. I'm going to tell you what happened with the ebiganye diagnosis today. And it's something that is actually very simple, very easy to skip, yeah? But I'm going to be sharing the story. Muje muwere. Itatani na jamweze ka WhatsApp mugamba je. Yes, I tell her. Wacho nimbo 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 ninza ai. 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 Girl, you're my number one. Wasoka na kukama na gulyo mwako gwagwa. I tell you that but you don't care. You don't give a damn, you don't dare. My number one girl, you rule my world and you took my heart. Never ever thought you made me big. You made me big. Every time I come over, you made me big. But why? Something tells me that the building on the left and the building on the right belong to the same person. But the building on the left is new. They just acquired the land. The building on the right is complete. I don't know. That's just my head. Sirina motoka, sirina kabanja, sirina bling, jagala kuwa jagala. Give me some love, be my better half. I promise I will never let you down, my girl. Jewelry, dollar bills, many things don't mean nothing. For as long as you got my extra mugira beri awo. Eruddewo. Koma woluli, sikumanyi bulungi njakwetegereza. I say yes, I say no, I say baby let's take it slow. You are my number one girl, you rule my world, you took my heart. Never a bad part, you made me big, girl, you made me big. Every time I come over, you make me big. But why? But why? But you never ever take what I say. See, I need you. But you do what you do ever again. You rock my world. It goes around, around and round. I love you so, I need you so, I never leave you so. Girl, I tell you this every day, every night, that I really feel you, I can't deny. Give us a chance, you and I. What's about you and I? You and I. Give us a chance, you and I. You and I. You and I. Uyo, what's about uyo, baiga kulinya muliro. Wasubaru ali mabegao oba avuga biki bayiga kulinya mulira uyo agenda kujja uyo emoroko ready yagigolola dda maaso emoroko berushanga wagigolola dda maaso chokera tayiga era akyavuga byakigwagwa kuba eri ku rawundi ate bambi Subaru avuga mpya njagala mpiteko mugirabe bwaba naye alaba live ategeere nti abadde avuga bya kisiru okuva bwambadde emabega jangu oyitewo kale tuwulire kuwaleteezi towanzije mbanyumize oziyareddeko nyinze buli bwenda bakagundi buli bwenda baka message akampese nga manya bantereddeko sente namusanga genda kaikonai nemubuuza kutwale out tonight nasinikanga nenda repulai olwo nanzira mutalako chicken tonight mwebagayi eno ekyaki y'abaprotestanti yokka eyawedde mu bbanga ettono ate naye leka yatwala emyaka nga 10 naye ekyasinza okuggwa kyaki z'abaprotestanti bazimbira emyaka 3 ewaffe ekabowa eri emutundu gye nakulira yes niko bukoto eri gye nakulira waliwo kyaki ne kakati tennaggwa naye batandika kugizimba nga ndi mu P1 nensoma paka P7 nensoma paka senior 4 nemala senior 6 nemala Makerere omwana wange omukulu ali mu P3 kati tebannagimala ayayaya abaprotestant nammwe oba ba reverend sente bazirya simanyina naye waliwo reverend gwe banyumiza owekasanga ati yalya sente munatunda n'ettaka banyumiza munyumiza I cannot confirm babi nyumiza bunyumiza anti reverend oyo wawe kasanga ati ewampe uchachi ewampe weyo mujimanyi ti reverend yali sente za church natunda ne kuttaka simanyi oba kituufu. But anyway guys, good evening. I hope you guys are muyombya mark. Good evening. Samuel Sisi bagoba bagala muziki labo sente yette yo mind awala batega kanyiwa basuwira nyama bakwasa mapera abakunagana wasaba it's on the floor no matter what she has to let her grow. Subaru byavuga tabimanyi tuli ewantu ewagolovu wasobola okumpisa alemi okumpisa kyokka bwe tuli mbukubo bufunda bwakuba indicator bwandeetera bwa kyokka tuli ewantu wasobola okuyisiza alemereddwa kyembagamba abaana ba Subaru uyo emmotoka yagigolola dda maaso uyo ze kale emmotoka empya eno ndudde okuyiteeka mu kyaka gye mba mpita abaye kabebi kako temugamba nti I don't want for you sibagaliza ono wa boda naye avuga mpola aleka tayagala mulabe kamudde emabega kako lwakuba omusana gwinenge gye tukubye mu kamera yaffe kabebi owa boda wa mpisa mbi mulabe asala kabebi kale wa boda yasitudde dda ndaba anyumya nnyo ayinenge kamuleke ayinengeri gyanyumya emboozi Ngaraka ate asaze speed muyiteko ndulagenze olaba ow'emmotoka alina engeri gy'asalamu speed ayagala mubba ka baby. She went away. Then she sets away. She tell you that, she walks away, she goes. That's why she say every time. But tell her the wallet is empty. Okay, man. Tasha. So guys, good evening. Muli mutia kasubire muli bulungi. K Jovan, Majwala Julius, Edward Tusime, Eno Kawagama, good evening. Rama Charity Organization. How is your Sunday, my people? Inekuwa balidam chokai bata ndikudam yonna ijjamu ebinya tebyali mululi. Emmanuel, Kasule Ramadan, Ronald Muchwa, Nicholas Sebulime, Osipankunda, Sibamaze, Richard Aki, Henry Ndaula, Brigitte Kakai, Richard Aki. Hope you guys are doing well. So yesterday we bought a Toyota Raum. The goal wasn't actually to buy a Toyota Raum. The lady called me and she said, you know what, Arthur, I'm coming from up country. I won't say the district. But I want to buy a car of 15 million shillings. Now, I've realized everyone that has an idea that they will get an almost new car at 15 million shillings, they have seen brokers from Matching, they advertise certain cars. Yeah, and almost all the time, those cars will not be in 15 million. They will not be available. I'm sorry to talk about Matching, but I have to be the one that has to now go and look at cars that have not satisfied my standards. So I have to keep explaining to you guys that Matching emotoka ebiseera ebisinga bagiranga 15 eba yabiri enungi. You get it? And the only bad thing is that you listen to those videos and sometimes no beera ng'oli convinced emotoka eyo gyeri. So sigenda Matching. Let me say it again. Sigenda Matching. If anyone ever comes and complains Arthur tayagala kukebera motoka Matching, yagaana ogenda okebera motoka yange Matching, mukimanye nti nganye sijja gendayo nze nga Arthur eyo gye bansibirako okubba ekisumuluzo ky'emmotoka emilioni 12 baali bagenda kunsiba naye ng'ekisumuluzo saakitutte. So I want to say it on this live broadcast, sikebera motoka Matching nze nga Arthur. You can get someone else to go and check, naye nze nga Arthur sijja gendayo, ekyo nkimaze. So the lady called me the night before yesterday. Nangamba, Arthur, I want to buy a car of 15. I was hesitant. I told her probably a Vitz. Nenga tajagara. Nemubuza, but did you talk to a broker and they told you they have those cars at 15? And she said yes. So I said, okay, oja kujja tulabe. So yesterday morning by 6, she had a friend of hers that came with her. And by 6 they were in town. So we met up at around 9 and we headed out. We went to 2 places. Twagenze Bakuli ne tugende Nakawa. Okay? Bakuli gye twalabye emmotoka naye nga most of them are 17, 18, 19. 17, 18, 19. We saw a lot of ISTs, about 3. We saw Spacios. We saw a Bad Raum. You get, then we saw a Belter. The Belter was almost near the BG. Everything checks out. Esa akola ne engine yabadde efuwa. That's why we didn't even want to look at it. So because these were, but we had zeroed down on an IST, which she liked, which was really good. Naenga bajituna 17 million, abada bajituna 18 actually, 18 cash. Kati mbanja nga bongedemu emitwala 5. So we headed out to Kawa. I also inspected the Noah, but I did not take pictures, so I won't talk about it. It's a Bond Noah. Chemani, the gentleman that bought the Noah went to the office and negotiated, but I am not yet sure they bought the car because the time had gone. Bankers have. So I cannot talk about a car that I'm not sure they bought, but I inspected a car at last. Yabade yakava mumbasanga yakatuka bweti Noah. So yesterday I inspected for 2 people, and let me talk about the Raum because that one I'm sure they actually they with the Noah. The person that bought the Noah, they drove up country last night, and I've looked at the tracker. How do I know they are already there? The lady installed a tracking device. I offered that I can install the tracking device for her. She did not have money. Yabade send them with deco.
because I'm thinking her plan was to buy a car at 15 million, keep 1 million to do all the other things, yeah? But we could not get a car of 15 in Uganda, 300 kilometers is a long distance. And I told her, Sagara to Gule Moroka, you reach around Ginger, the car breaks down and you start calling Arthur. Arthur Wanguzize Moroka, Arthur. So I told her we need to buy a car that will go to Soroti, perform your work until such a time when you can upgrade. So we bought that car at 16.3 the Raum, and she paid 16. She has a debt of 300,000. I installed the tracking device for her on credit, and I kept the logins. She did not want it, but I told her there is no way I'm going to give you logins. She logged into her phone when I thought she would actually pay. Eventually she told me, she told me, you know what, Arthur, let me call someone, I can actually get the money. So I thought she had the money. We installed the tracking device, and I gave her the logins, yeah. So she logged in. I even taught her how the tracker works, and then she said, Arthur sent a Sizidina. So I told her, you know what, I'm going to change your password. Yeah, I'm going to change the password of your tracker, and I'll keep it. When you pay the money, I will give you the logins. Yeah, if she doesn't pay, I'm going to keep the logins and I'll keep monitoring her movements. Now, yeah, it would seem like Arthur, you're in her privacy, but I'm not really checking her out. I just had to make sure they go to Soroti safely. You get there. So, but anyway, so what we did, we installed the tracking device and they left. We did the service. Emoro day checking all the boxes. It was really nice. Guys, one thing I need you guys to understand is that yes, cars lose value, but the small cars 1.5 liters and below are no longer losing that much value. The same Raum could have been bought 17 million shillings 2 years ago, and then again it was bought at 16.3. Where do the cars lose value and when do they lose value? The cars normally lose value at points where you guys want to sell there and then. You wake up in the morning and you want to sell, you call Arthur, you want to sell the car, and by evening you want your money. There, if you bought your car at 16, in the evening they'll give you 12. Because it's people that have 12 or people that are offering you 12 that are willing to buy there and then. Again, will be the problem. I hope you guys understand. Normally when I inspect cars, one of the things I'm looking for, I don't want a car that has serious leakages, especially if the owner is not negotiating. I don't want to take a car that has any sign of overheating. I normally don't want to take a car that doesn't have working AC. Guys, don't buy a car that doesn't have working AC if you're not willing to spend at least 1 million shillings. Don't buy a car. AC. Be ready to spend about 1 million shillings. And the 1 million shillings should be your minimum budget. I'm telling you, not because when you find a car that is good. Today I was almost buying a double cabin myself. That was, for me, that was a deal breaker. The differential, repairing it is like 800. The engine was bad, repairing it is like 3 million. I was willing to buy a car if it had no accident history, and it had a very bad accident history. Ngenzo kubuza akayumba ka cabin nga ka milioni nya. Yemoroka nene double cabin. I'll look for another double cabin. So that car checked all the boxes. Okujako obuchafu yabadde nchafu nnyo. Si nchafu nnyo naye for a woman it would actually be dirty. So that's how emoroka yo mugiraba. Twamaze okugiraba, and the lady actually told me, Arthur, we have not moved. Nemugamba tulage wa. I want you to just tell me, Arthur, tugende tukebere moroka za awali. And we go now. I want you guys to understand that Arthur has understood the car market. You tell me that, Arthur, there is a car in such and such a place, and I'll tell you that car doesn't exist. You'll tell me, Arthur, there is a car in such and such a place in such and such a condition at such a price, and I'll tell you that car doesn't exist. Ebintu emoroka zawe ziri nzimanyi, manyi condition gye batundiramu, manyi bei ebifo gye bitambuliramu. That's why sometimes omuntu ajja kungamba, Arthur, I saw a car which is this side, and I'll tell you, yeah, most of the times the car won't be there. I'll tell you. So I've understood the car market. I've understood it very well. so bwe nkugamba emmotoka eyo tejja kubaayo oba ejja kubambya ebiseera ebisinga mba saagala kumala budde bwo. So what happened is after we looked at all the cars in the morning, the ones for the lady, owa Nuwa nangamba musange Nakawa. So I went to Nakawa and we were looking for a new Nuwa. Now guys, emmotoka za bbeeyi mu ennaku zino naddala eza bondi n'ezebweru za bbeeyi. The thing that is making cars expensive is that even the traders themselves are looking for cars to buy, they don't see them. So if the traders are looking for cars to buy and they don't see them, it means that even you yourself, you will find it hard to find a car because the traders don't have the cars. Badde nkubi ekitaala kama katonda wange emboozi kintadde. I don't know if you guys get what I'm saying. So if the traders can't trace cars, you too will not be able to get a car. Ontegeera. So as a bondi, remember there is a time around December we bought a Nuwa SI at 35 million shillings, which was black. And the black Nuwa SIs were there. The gentleman was strictly looking for a Nuwa SI. And he had a budget of 40 million. From what I had last, he ended up buying a car at 43.5. And I told him before we met, namugamba Nuwa SI we were specific about color, we specific about features. Egenda kubeera ya bbeeyi, egenda kusooka million ana mu ebbiri n'agaana wakana. And guys, let me tell you this, and I think I've said this before. Guys, the Nuwa SI, the Nuwa X, the Nuwa S, yeah, you could find a Nuwa X that is better in terms of features and condition, yeah, one that is better than the SI. Nenga the SI is more expensive even with features that don't even get to what the Nuwa X is giving you. Ngate SI ya bei okusinga X. And I explained this to the gentleman. Ojja kusanga Nuwa SI nga ekigiseza ke kokabaji kokaka SI. Ontegeera. Later on he agreed with me. Bayina Nuwa gye balabye, I think bagirabye wabakuli nga ya X. Naye ng'erina buli kye baagala. I even reached the point nebagamba oba tuddeyo tulabe Nuwa eyo ngikebere. Okitegeera naye nga baganye nga baagala SI. Guy, SI kikuseeza buseeza. SI, the biggest difference with the Nuwa, the normal Nuwa and the Nuwa X, Nuwa S, and Nuwa SI, the biggest difference is normally the suspension. Suspension, yesingo kuchuka. When you look at the Nuwa SI, majority of the time, it will be on the ground. Teba mpanvu nga ziri endala because yo bagikola kale ngeri mo lakizare eba no kuzanya mu binnya Nuwa SI ezanya okusinga zino endala, but other than that there is no big difference. Kati tewali nsonga lwaki ogula Nuwa SI ya million 42 ngaliwo Nuwa X ya million 38. Okitegeera bwaliwo Nuwa X ya million 38 gula Nuwa X. Okitegeera gula Nuwa X. SI is just a badge, and I normally tell you guys the trims I ate ebiseera ebimu tubadde twoga ne makanika gwenkozi naye diagnosis olwali tukoze ebiganye diagnosis. We saw a GLE and we were talking about what's special about the GLE, and I was telling him, you know what, the GLE wogitunulira features eziri munda and all the other Mercedes Benzes, when you look at them, it's on the inside where these cars are actually really nice. You have a lot of these features. And then he was telling me, Arthur, ezo features zonazona toyogeza wano. Eventually, when you start driving the car, the features are useless. You don't even use them. And it's totally true. And it's totally true that some of the things that, when you're buying the car, some of the things that are making you really happy are useless to you when you drive the car for 1-2 weeks. Like the heated seats. You guys that have heated seats, when was the last time you used the heated seats? Wakomadde kosa heated seats eziri mu motoka yo. Wakomadde. Okitegeera ekyo kikulaga nti njagala nokuddayo kusoma. Nze simanyi na kumanya. Nsoma no just in case tugenze mu exile. Sisoma nti chichi wano ebyo bitabo sina nnyo kyembyagaza. Naye bwe tuliba tugenze mu exile nyina okubanga am employable. I know. Arthur, why are you planning for exile? Ebintu bya Uganda nga bwe biyimiridde awo eno. You plan for everything. Tuliba tugenze mu exile. n'okuli kubanga you are employee but least ogendo okoleko entry jobs awo mu marketing kansoke nkole embuzayo level 2 naye maama okuzikola obungu bwange kati bwe buli bukaddiye naye nyina okuzisoma just in case we go to exile. So anyway, mbadde mbagamba ku Nuwa because eggulo twetolodde mu bondi zonna ez'ennakawa nga tunoonya Nuwa SI nga tunoonya Nuwa SI ye miliyoni 4 n'ebula. Eventually twagiguddeko eyo mbasuubuza nga bagituna miliyoni 4 nga everything is okay naye ng'eriko scrapped paint omanyeze Nuwa ez'abasuubuzi tebulako kamogo ng'eriko the paint is a little bit scraped on the side wano waggulu ku roof ne ku luggi lwaliyo slide ya side ya passenger ekyo ne kimutta customer wange n'agamba sijja gigula silwa nsonga lwaki ngula emmoroka ate nga ngenda gifuuwa. And so eventually tulina we twabadde tugenze there is a bond we had gone nga bazikoma 44-45 then ne bamukkiriza omuguza 43 cash kati awo n'avaawo kati mugoberera. I had taken the people that bought the room to the bank. I took them to the bank ne mbalekayo nzije nteke machine kuzina emmoroka endala ne musanga nga ate awo bavuddewo kati nga balina we balaze ewalala we baaguze eventually the Nuwa gye baaguze yabadde yakajja okuva e Mombasa ne ngitekako machine it checked everything checked naye nga nkyafu nga umanye emmoroka ezakava e Japan and yeah so it checked everything and bali abendase mu banka ngoro bamaze okujjayo sente. I had to pick them tugenda tusasulirwa wumu yaffe. So I went and picked the people from the bank ne tugenda tusasulira ngenda okujja ngo namaze okuva mu office ateesezza neno mukubira essimu yange atacyagikwata. So we proceeded to go pay for the room. We paid for the room. We came with the room ne tukola service ne tuteeka mu tracker ne mbasiibula ne bagenda. They went up country already. So as of today they have been up country for a number of hours. Explain exile. Semaganda Nazil. If things go south in Uganda, me I will go to exile. I tell you what. You go to exile? You know that there are so many reasons why people might decide to go to exile. You guys need to understand that Bakadama bali mu exile because one of things are not working. Most of you guys that are working abroad, Nenga, you'd rather be here. You are in exile because of work. So there are so many reasons that why you would want or why you would be forced to go to exile. And some people might just decide to go to exile because they don't like the way things are being done in their country. A lot of people have gone to exile like that. And I don't know. I love my country a lot. It's home because it's home. I love my country because it's home. But I don't know. Sometimes I get angry. Kachak. Oh, that's a phone. Sometimes I get angry. Sometimes I get sad. Sometimes I want to cry. Like, you can't be sane in Uganda, eh? Olumundo tayagala kaba. Okuja kale ngoli mugagga nnyo nga everything is working in your favor. Nga like for a person to be really happy in Uganda, olina okubanga senga bagwagala kukola operation e million 10 nga oyagala ogende kwa Agakani bagikola obe India, you can go nga totally stressed. Olina kuba mugagga muvundu for you to be really happy with your country. All African countries I'm thinking. So sometimes I'm sad, sometimes I'm angry, sometimes I'm furious, sometimes I want to cry. But this is my country. Osegera, this is my country. But in case I have to go to exile, that's why I'm getting experience mukuvuga buli kika kya motoka. I want to get professional marketing qualifications nzimaleyo. I'm doing CIA mbuzayo levels 2 njimale. So just in case, I'm saying just in case, yeah. I don't want to nzenga bwe nabagamba bwe ndisala wonti nvudde Uganda ekalubye sidda. Era lwe ndisala wonti Uganda ekalubye buli kyange wano nja kukitunda abaana bange bagende nabo ne mama waabwe agende bw'aba asazeewo tetudda. So I guess you guys understand why it's difficult, eh? For me, eh? It's the decision that for me to go abroad, eh? It's sigenda genda mukangene nkole emyaka 2 nkomewo because nze obwongo bwennyina no nsobola okukola. So we bituukira okugaana kyobola banjiyita exile. Nti we bituukira okugaana ndiba ngenda nga sidda kyovula bannagamba bwabangawo omuntu alina ow'amaanyi gwenyiiza nti oba I've done a live broadcast, I've talked about something that made them angry, oba I've abused someone, nze nsaba busabi kuba nkimanyi mundaba, nsaba busabi bwenkunyiiza nga ng'olinamu kasente, nze famire yange ntono tuli bana otuyambako buyambi, nze nsobola okuguza ewange, nze kasito you guarantee me nompa permanent residence ne tukuviira. And I'm serious. I've seen people being arrested because tukola social media, tukola YouTube lives bichi. It's very hard to not annoy anyone. Chizibu nyo. You try, like you see today, I tried so much to not say the district where the Raum went. It's very hard for you to not say something that will annoy someone. Na yenze omuntu gwendinyiza musaba busabi bwaba ina amaanyi nga baba na amaanyi nga ina sente nyingi anyambe buyambi fe at relocating nze siddamu kwogera ku muntu yenna munna Uganda nga bandi nga when relocated properly bantadde mu exile eyo because kizibu butanyi kizibu kukola kintu notanyiza muntu kizibu nnyo but eyangambye munnyonnyole exile ndozo otegedde what exile is. Sometimes I'm sad, sometimes I'm angry, sometimes I'm furious, sometimes I want to cry about my country. But we have to keep moving, yeah? We have to keep moving. Nina abana abato. So we have to keep moving. I'm not a fan for both cars. However, I'd maybe choose the Sienna because it's more spacious. Sienna and Raum. Guys, Sienna and Raum, I'd go with the Raum any day. I'd go with the Raum. Guys, like the video. You're 26, you have only 24 likes. Are you buying that cabin for your wife? No. Tamanyi vuga manyo. Cabin mvungula yange ya project. Bana isinabagamba kente machindi babbi. Nze emoroka zenjagala okugula. Teziri yo standard emoroka zenjagala okugula, teziri yo. I bought a Vitz at 6 million. I thought I would fix it to Uber taxi standard na ye. Yade Atkat Nico, you can't buy a Vitz at 6. You can't. At this level, waliwo wotukange moroka tosobola kujigula. Waliwo wotuka kati. Let me tell you the double cabin I was buying today. It was being sold to me at 8 million. 8 million Hilux. Na ye senga body ibadde nnungi nga teyagwa. It would make sense. Invest 3 million for the engine, about 800 to 1 million for the differential. Kati awo ogolola n'okufuuwa 3 million ezo meka 336 plus 1, that is 7, plus the 8, that would be about 15 million shillings. Kati awo ndyoke ngule buluba eyo maaso neye mabega million ngemu n'ekitundu okitegeera bakolemu ku wiring awo mutono tono bakole interior. Moroka yali gwedde million nga 18 ku 2. Kati emoroka gyenkola negwera ku million 2. In the mainstream market baya million 4 5 okitegeera, but togula moroka eri mu kigo. That's why I didn't buy it. Nenga badde bajenguza million 8 nenga tensanyusizira nenjireka nevaayo. Kati someone is going to ask, do you have the money? No, I don't have the money, but I would find it. Mwanya abantu ambe bagule moroka. Nze ne bagasi kyate moroka ya banja. Osoka ngo mwaka akakadde ngo mungasigaze moroka ya wonjisibyeko. Ngoyiri beze moroka nkadde bazigula. Okitegeera. But of course you don't do that everywhere. Guys, anyone selling air coolers because the heat can't be managed by a fan. Air cooler. Nico, I'm going to give you a number of the guy Wawan Richie. Ogende ku Alibaba, you find the air cooler you want. Rakuba sometimes inakuba very calculative. Some of the things that are sold here, if you import, you'll be losing money. So some things are better off bought from here. So, but I'm going to send you the number. You go to Alibaba, you find something you want, you send him the link. He's in China even as we speak. He looks around the Chinese market, na video call, na waliweno, and then you pick what you want, and then he can ship it for you. Shipping might also take some time. So that's why I'm saying it has to be mathematically done. So but I'm going to share. You can text me wowe number ojagala nganjikuwa. Wish Kampala roads were this free every day. Yeah, I know. Michael UG hi. Chris Fitness neyanziza. Henry mva mu gym. I'm from the gym. I'm from Chris. Ngeze mu kagym ka wali kubahayi akekizungu ako. Lwakuba ngezo tuka mu gym nga ziri saa 10:04 ngate nyino kola broadcast ku saa 10:00 naye nkoze ekifuba n'enkola omukono n'instama n'okusitama. So kati awira ndi physically fit. Arthur, I want a room at 17 for my mom. You want your mom to okuchawa kuyita batya mugundi mu luzungu. You want your mom to hate you. Or you want your mom to think you're stupid. Room at 17. Suppose you want to buy a Toyota DB. Because the Toyota DB, that one you can find. But a room at 17. Your mom will either hate you or keep talking about you on the village. Niyo banze natomera. Omanyi mama wasobola kwogera ko mbantu. Kaho banze natomera. Ono Ramadhani. Bakuyita batye waka Kasule. Niyo banze natomera. Kasule yangulira ogumoto kubatanja ubayagala kunzita. Rumion at 17. DB, posi Toyota DB. And the Rumion came out of the DB. After I bought a Subaru Impreza, and I need more knowledge on how to keep it properly maintained. Just follow the channel. Ask questions when you need to. Brian Tumwine, hi. After tugende fenamo exile. Ivan, the exile young enzibuya nchajiro woza konyo. Richard Damulira, hi. Spate Wabza, hi. Kejo vanto bati date bakumanyi joli nze bandaba buli lunaku bamanyine je mpitira buli lunaku ne live baziraba. Felix atutungisa Kabale, how is Kabale that side? So Kejo van gototedde gwe bakunone. How much for an alarm and tracker? The alarm, if you're buying it together with the tracker, will cost you 210 if you're buying the tracker together. But if you're only buying the alarm, it will cost you 250,000. Stegedde. The alarm is okuji installing a moroka when unpacking when we moroka nga 10 ezina alarm. A moroka yange yoka ina alarm is very well installed. So it takes a lot of time to install, but if you buy both the alarm and the tracker, you'll save money. Which tegera. After I wanted to know about the price of the gearbox of the fielder. Zakka edda zabanga za million nyakitu na if gearbox ezo sente zakka. Zakkam. Mvuddeyo ono musajja ayingidde moroka avuga patrol ya police ayi kali mu kusoma accounting kati aguddewo n'ekisumuluzo ekisumuluzo akyerabidde mu luggi naye ali mu moroka anoonya ekisumuluzo ekisumuluzo kyerabidde mu luggi ekisumuluzo kyerabidde mu luggi I need to buy my 1.54e engine. How much can it be? Telling million nge mu kitundu olowooza 4e nge mu kitundu 2 mu kitundu emu 7 awe watu awe watu wa police tomugamba abo twagala baffe Kasule ndeka tonyingiza bintu ebyo nze nabagambye ndeka saagala ebyo biyingiramu. But anyway, nze bannange nkimanyi mundaba bambite munona nga temunkubanga nze omuntu yenna bwe nkunyiza nti ng'olina mu milioni zo nga 3 ntuuza wansi ngambe Arthur njagala ove mu ggwanga lyaffe. Okitegeera ngamba Arthur njagala ove mu ggwanga lyaffe oyogedde ebinyiiza njagala ove mu ggwanga lyaffe nkugambe nnyina kino nakiri mpa ssente bwe ziti naye tuzikolere omusoro gwagusasula kuba gwalina osasula omusoro nze ngende aba URM bagambe nti amurelocating tini mu gigalewo sijja kudda ne mama banawo naye mbagambe mu tini yono naye mu gigale kibalina otukolera kiri kimu tuwa birth certificate z'abatabani bulungi nnyo tufuna obu passport bwabwe kuba passport njagadde nnyo bukola nakole passport kizaire yinza okujja amangu kuba kati woba ne sente n'ogulayo ekiyumba eyo nga mu Switzerland citizenship finga nkuviira mu ggwanga lyo bwe nkunyiizanga bannange nze siri mukalubo nze siri mukalubo kinnuma kijja kunnuma naye ngamba bugambi n'enkuviira. Ivan Namanda, hi, we'll call you for the engine because my car was parked at home. Kale damwira Arthur 20 million for a used Toyota Blade. too good to be true. It makes sense if it's good. Blade go does Isaac. No one buys a blade. Who wants to buy a 2.4 liter vehicle? Ngakatono bwekatu. People are not buying it. You buy. Ate 2.4 goloza blade chiche yinzo kola ku engine eyo. 2AZ. Tewali chayinza gikolako. You buy. It makes sense. It's not too good to be true. You will see when you're selling also. You will see. That's how you will know why it was at 20 million. Arthur, between the Mark X and Subaru 2007 XT, what can you recommend? It depends on what you want. Personally, I like the features that the Subaru gives me, but I would rather get a Mark X with all those features. So for me, the Mark X does it. The Mark X doesn't die. The Subaru, on the other hand, will die. And it will cost you an arm and a leg. Okay, that's an exaggeration, but it will cost you a lot of money. The Mark X will not die, and even when it dies, it's very cheap to maintain. Won't take it, right? So for me, Mark X any day. And of course, someone is going to say, Arthur, but Subaru gives you all-wheel drive. Yes, it does give you all-wheel drive, but I don't know a place where I drive where I need all-wheel drive. I don't know. The times that I've driven Ngangende Waka, and I found the road bad, and I could not go through the road with my two-wheel drive, even a Subaru would not have gone through. Ekyo nkibagamba nga sirimba. Buli wantu wembadde nvuga ne bwe nali mu Vitz. Buli wentu wembadde nvuga. Nesanga ngekubo binyo. Ababoda ne baga togenda wafuna obwalaga nosanga nga wafuna okyuka ne mu Subaru nali kyuse. Okitegeera. So anybody that says because it gives you an all-wheel drive, they just don't know how to drive cars. Kati fa bavuze ku moroka tukimanyi nti yes, the all-wheel drive helps just makes life a little bit easier, but if you know how to drive a car, the Mark X is manageable. A friend has 15 million shillings. Can she find a Vitz or a Paso? Yes, she'll even save some money if she's looking at a Paso. She will. But Becky, why does it sound like it's you? Why does it sound like it's you? Why are tubeless tires rare? Ivan, all our tires are tubeless. Wano mu parking wana abantu bonna bayine moroka eziri wano bonna bavuga tubeless. That's the thing. All our tires are tubeless. With lorries are the ones that have tires that have tubes. These tubeless tires are the best. Why tubeless are the best? Omuswai newe kufunita tubeless tire gusigalamu. Nothing happens for some time. With the tube tire, the nail will go through the tire, they will go through the tube, and then the tube will lose. That's why they innovated tubeless tires. Pose Ivan ngovuga fuso ama oyogede bulungi. So Arthur, despite being a 2.4 liter, I think a blade consumes better than a Mark X 4GR first generation. I don't know, and I don't think the reason why if I'm the one driving, they'll consume the same because I'll drive them the same. Ontegire, I would drive them the same, so they would consume the same. I don't think it will consume. Let me give you an example. Today, because they began a diagnosis on a NOAA 2014, and it gives the person that has it gives him 8 kilometers per liter. Ngate yo 82 liter valvematic. 8 kilometers per liter. 8. Ne Mark X kuwa 8. Neka unde kuwa 8. Because there is a certain there's a certain level where you reach in moroka zona stambira mu range right? High Cosmos zitambira mu range so kambanyumize ebiganye diagnosis. Now when your car loses power, a number of things will make your car lose power, like your car having fake spark plugs. You understand? So when your car loses power, it's very easy for you to run and change spark plugs, check the coils, but your car can actually overheat. Your car can overheat when you have just gotten it from the bond. But when your car overheats, people have been telling me about removing thermostats from their engines, bond, and it seems a lot of mama bane amanyi ndaba kasule, mama bane amanyi ndaba olumu ndaba ne mulengeza. Omanyi bwobera ne mukyala wo mu mmoroka nolengera kibebe, obutakwata bw'okiraba naye mulage gambe lengera bw'otyo kati we have to survive because we are men. Kati omukazi ajja kugira akulabe akwatireyo amaaso nga gyegali ate kigufuuka omusango. Kati bw'otunayokko bw'oti katono bw'ozza bw'oti omwaso nga naye omulaga. Okitegeera? Ate oba tolabe bebi oba olabe kagoye laba akagoye. Ontegedde yizo baalaba ne bw'aba alaba it's okay. Nange I cannot, the eyes, God made men's eyes in a different way. Okitegeera, God made the eyes in a different way. We also don't know genda okulaba nga gagenze gati. Arthur, can you recommend for me a filter gearbox plug? I don't have plugs. Newe munamugamba nze ni musajja Muganda. Anti buli kyotukola ekitamu ngoga ndi musajja Muganda, buli kyokola ekintu ekiyinza okumuyombya naye ng'olaba kiri nno mukuggwe ng'omusajja ngoga ndi musajja Muganda. Ate I'm a traditional one. So mbadde nkyabanyumiza ebiganye diagnosis. Mbadde nkyabanyumiza ebiganye diagnosis. Ekinziguze ndabiramu era mukitegedde. Anti waliwo awamu wootuka ng'endabirwamu akubendabirwamu zange muzira ziri mu tinti kati nga tinti ate akulemesa. But anyway, today we began a diagnosis. So the gentleman called me a couple of days ago. Okay, texted TikTok. I don't answer my TikTok messages. So texted TikTok. Nga ayagala nvuge mu Moroka nga yalina kyawulira. Moroka bakagigula tenaweza wiki. So he has told me he sold the previous car he had, which was a newer 2011 there. Ekyaji mutunziza ya chamuka. So bwetutuse ku Moroka n'agamba he sold the car he had, 2009 model. He sold the car he had because it was overheating and bought this one. So and then I asked him, did you find out why the car was overheating? And he said no. So I told him, but you need to find out why that car was overheating, because it might be the same thing that nga sinategera kutegera nti Moroka eno yali yachamuka eno gye tubadde tukebera, because atona abadde mulala ono gwenzo anzikuze ndabirwamu abadde mulala n'oli yabadde mulala. So ne mugamba, you might sell a car thinking the car is the problem because it doesn't drive the car, they have a driver that drives the car. Ne mugamba, you might actually end up selling your car because it overheats when the problem is your driver. Ontegeera kati nenteekako machine nereeta byerese nga the temperature rises a little bit, etsoka tukireka. Then he told me his mechanic bwe bajja Moroka mu bond, after a day Moroka neebuza amaanyi, bwe yabuza amaanyi ne basigala nga bagivuga. Then eventually I think it was over yesterday about 1 the mechanic came. So he doesn't know what the mechanic did, but the mechanic says he changed spark plugs. So the car now has power. But when we open the bonnet, nga Moroka ina loop, nenga zigenda kufaani. Then bwe zigenda fulupu zigenda kufaani, ne mubuuza Moroka eno yachamukako, nangamba nedda tennachamukako. Ne mubuuza, when your mechanic came, what did he do? He told me that when his mechanic came, he worked on the plugs and also removed the thermostat. Then I asked him, why was the guy removing the thermostat? Guys, nadala mwabagule Moroka mu bond. Thermostat erwawo kufa. Thermostat erwawo kufa. Now let me tell you the quick way to do a thermostat test today. Let your car cool down. Okay? Moroka yo bwewola, start it. Jireke gwebeeraawo. Genda okwate ku kiseke ekiva ku engine ogenda ku radiator ekino ekyawaggulu. Senga olaba ekiseke ekyo kibuguma mpola ng'omanya thermostat esigala eri open. Naye ate era thermostat okusigala nga eri open si kibi. The trouble normally comes when the thermostat stays closed. Okay? However, the quick test of a thermostat that is healthy, amazi ekiseke ekyo kirina buguma mulundi gumu. That means the thermostat has opened at once for the hot coolant from the engine to come to the radiator and start running. Ontegeera. ate era thermostat bwe neba yefudde emmotoka egenda kyamuka omulundi gumu because gajja bamazzi tegatambula. I don't know. Ate era thermostat bwe batekola emmotoka efaanane bwe zinaaba zigenda kuba onogula radiator wali amazzi gajja bategakola ki because pampu ebeega kuba naye nga tegayitamu mu thermostat. Naye ng'ebiseera ebisinga thermostat bwefa esigala eri open ebiseera ebisinga. That's why some of us we never even notice that our thermostats have died. Esobola okufa thermostat neefa omuntu navuga emmotoka emyaka 10 nga thermostat yafa naye nga amazzi gasigala gatambula. There is a bad thing that happens when your coolant still moves. Nti you can never actually reach its optimum temperature. Esigala ewoze. Now that is not as dangerous in the short run, but in the long run engine efa mangu. Kyovula muntu agule emmotoka mu bondi engine etawangala endala neziwangala. Okitegeera it's normally because thermostat esobola okufa engine egenda ngaeweyaringa. Engine tebagikola kukolera mu temperatures zinyogoga. Kyovula the people that have old cars zikibiina zikikumi bazisiba nnyo engine because emmotoka thermostat yavaamu dda amazzi ateekamu gasigala gatambula engine nesigala ngaetambula. Abalina obuyimu bwa temperature akalimi ka temperature kalina kubeera wansi kalina kubeera makati balance temperature. Wekasola bakalimi ko nga kabeera ngeno wansi sawa bina. It's not a good thing. Okay, it's good because your car is not overheating, but your temperature is supposed to be at the center in the middle. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Akantu ako Emma yangambye mbamba itanga abasiwe mbabuza. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Kintu kyankwata. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Kyankwata. So we drove the car netujitwala ku bypass. We stopped somewhere and then we checked the fans again. Nga fani zitambula mpola. Fani zina speed ko zino tambulira. Kati emmotoka nuwe ina fani bili ina kafani aka AC ne fani eno. So webeera nga erimu AC fani zonna zigendako. And most cars when the AC is on, it's very hard for the car to overheat because the AC runs the fans automatically. Okitegeera eh? It overheats, Brian. It either overheats or doesn't overheat. When the thermostat dies and it kept open, you will never know that it died. But when it closes, it dies when it's closed, you will know because the car will overheat. But some of your mechanics, when the car overheats, they are going to rush to remove the thermostat. Nebeba sinfu. Kakati shenda ba makanika wono chiyakoze. Emmotoka eno mu bondi bagigula ekizibu kya fani mu ekiri. Neekyamuka. Kati olunaku lwe yakyamuka, it lost power. Remember nuwezo tezina temperature gauge. Bwe yakyamuka, ne bagiyinda neewula ne basigala nga bagivuga. Makanika bwe yajja n'akiraba nti fani nfu. Bwe yalaba nti fani nfu n'aziruupinga. Kale si nfu because zikola naye zitambula ku speed ntono. Bwe yalaba nti zitambula ku speed ntono, kye yakola n'aziwa omuliro omulala, n'aziwarire, n'aluupinga. Nene bwe yaluupinga, fani nesigala nga zitambula speed ntono. Ye kye yakoze n'ajjamu thermostat. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Bwe yajjamu thermostat, emmotoka erwawo okukyamuka. Naye fani zikola mpola era temperature gyebeekolerako eba higher than normal. Kati era emmotoka etuuka ne losing amaanyi because etuuka nga yes coolant atambula naye nga tawola nga bw'alina kuwola. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So emmotoka nesigala ng'ekyamuka because fani ze zirina okuwoza amazzi galinga gali. Jjukira fani ewujja n'esika empewo okuva ebweru, okay? Neeyita mu radiator. Kati amazzi agayita mu radiator ne gawola. Kati emmotoka eyo bw'obeera ku highway ne bw'oba ovuga AC tejja kukyamuka kuba bw'ovuga AC fani zombi zibaako. Kitegeeza okubuguma obulungi. So kati awo amaanyi gabaamu. Ate nga ekibataasiza nti emmotoka eno emirimu gy'ekola egikola ng'erina okubaamu AC full time. So because erina okubaamu AC full time tejja kukyamuka naawo ku kye yakoze thermostat yagigyemu so coolant asigala atambula all the time. Ekyokubiri fan ne zibeerako nga AC kwali. So kati wabali wano basobola osigala nga bagivuga neerwawo okukyamuka. The owner of the car just got concerned because kiri ekyamaanyi okubula tekyali nnomo. Ate kirabika kirina bwe kituuka ne kiddamu. Kati emmotoka eyo okuddamu okukyamuka obulungi bagitegeere nti ekyamuka balina givuga mu jaamu. Oyo jaamu oyo ng'owebusega akwatira essaawa 2 oba 3 eba ejja kukyamuka sure deal because awo fani zitambula mpola ate mu kutambula empola ng'emmoloka tetambula tekuba mpewo bw'obeera ku highway emmoloka ne bw'eba ekyamuka erwawo okucamuka because eba ekuba empewo direct neyita muki I don't know what you get. The diagnosis was fix the fans. The fans are the problem. The thermostat had no problem. Ontegeera kati ngenda kola ine TikTok video bana abantu mbala because TikTok is where most people have been complaining about mechanics removing their thermostat. Guys, like the alternator, some of you guys have been buying new. I've never bought a new alternator all my life. Atenga mvuze moroke nkadde siguranga ku alternator bazikanika ate bw'oteeka direct nga fan tezivaako anti ebiseera ebisinga okuteeka fan ku direct emoroka eba yacamuka kati nga okusinga okuteekako gasket noga katuteeke fan ku direct okitegeera bano emoroka bw'ecamukamu omulundi gumu neeteezikiza teweetaaga teeka fan ku direct osooka n'ogivuga munola bwe bateddamu kulinyisa temperature bw'etaddamu kulinyisa temperature it's okay kati ebiseera ebisinga amakanika lwaki bafe teeka fan ku direct aba yeewala moroka eyo kuddamu kucamuka. That's why baziteeka ku direct okitegeera. My Pajero GDI makes some weird noises when accelerating. Could it be plugs tezikola weird noises? What kind of weird noises are you talking about? Where are the noises coming from? Because when you're accelerating, when you're on a pothole road, the suspension can make noises. Amatamata mago moroka bwebe kubagana emiyange ikyali mpya nayo giwulire era erimu obuntu obukubagana mu nzija ate zonna kino ekintu wano waliwo ebintu bingi wano nyinawo ekikopo so noises ziriwo ezo zogamba like obunege genda okole suspension you go work on the suspension bano bonna bagenda mu moroka emu 1 2 3 4 5 6 basobola okujjamu it's a Prado emabega batuulayo babiri waine watuulawo basatu abo bataano n'oli omu bajjayo then ne driver bajjayo so sigenda basiibula eddakiika 5 so diagnosis bwetyo bwewedde and the gentleman can either decide to take it to his mechanic back amugambe ekyokukola fan zirina speed gye zirina otambulirako fan zirina okuba nga zisobola okusika ekiveera nekisigala ku radiator naye fan kasita eba nga etambula naye nga tesobola kusika yadde akaveera kitegeeza eba tesika bulungi mpewo emmoroka shuwadire bejja kucamuka okitegeera kati sometimes your car is losing power naye nga it's not losing power because the plugs are bad or because the fuel pump is weak naye nga emmoroka yacamuka oba nga ekyacamuka emmoroka esobola okuba nga ecamuka naye nga tecamuka biri bigigaana bigizikiza ng'estrugglinga ng'ebugumye okitegeera kamba siibule Muyombya Mark, Samuel Sisi, K. Jovan, Mwajwala Julius, Edward Tumwine, Enoch Kawagama, K. Jovan, Rama Charity Organization, Agaba, okay, Emmanuel, Kasule Ramadan, Ronald Muchwa, Nicholas Sebulime, Osepa Nkunda, Kasule Ramadan, K. Jovan, Henry Ndaula, Michael UG, Chris Fitness, Maltova, Kagwa Dennis, John Jones, Mirembe Peruth, Samuel Ntale, Sereko Starch, Mpanga Godfrey, Firstborn Channel, Kazoba BL, Semaganda Nazil, Chamba de Hannington, Richard Damolida, Spat Wabs, Mulunga Ivan, Katege Gerald, Brian Tumwine, Sozi Rajab, Mwesiga Isaac, Ivan Namanda, Becky Wasen, Cosmas Agava, Cosmas E, Brian Tumwine, Mugomba Edwin, Albert Wambale, Simon Baker, and Brian tumwine Arthur naye abakazi baveeko otunulayo nnyo situnulayo nnyo amaaso neno gwe musajja gwe if you are a man and the eyes don't go towards looking at females you have a problem. That is how we were created. Look and move on. Me, I look and move on. I don't act. I'm a barking dog. I look and I move on. I look and I move on, guys. Thank you very much for being part of the broadcast. May the good Lord bless you. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Ciao.